Warning. The movie I'm about to review is rated R and contains mature content. Viewer discretion is advised. Spoilers ahead. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, this is Spider, and welcome back to another movie review. Now, last time I reviewed a movie about giant ants, so natural progression now demands I do a movie about giant spiders. And besides, it's about time I do a movie about arachnids, considering, the name of my channel. So, today's review is Spiders from 2000. For a quick synopsis, 3 college reporters are investigating a government facility when they uncover a secret operation involving genetically experimenting on spiders. So if that sounds interesting, join me in my review of Spiders. No, hey, would you look at that? I'm already wearing a shirt appropriate for this review. The movie begins with scientists performing experiments on a spider. We then see people overseeing a rocket containing the spider being launched into space. We then transition over to our main character, Marcy, played by Lana Parrilla, who is really into conspiracies and government cover-ups. Marcy heads over to her job at a college newspaper office and interviews 2 people who believe that they are aliens, and that they were beamed here to Earth from Alpha Centauri over 2 years ago, and that at some point they were captured and experimented upon by a government facility.
Restricted one, I mean, commonly known as Area 21. The thing about this place is no one's ever allowed to fly over it.
Yes, not Area 51, but Area 21. Well, I guess it's better than just calling it Area 52 or something. Marcy then shows the 2 an image of the facility, and they start going cuckoo.
Oh, there's no. Oh, there's no.
Fun fact, according to IMDb, some of the alien language these 2 are speaking is actually just Danish. Well, these 2 speaking another language and freaking out over a random picture is enough to convince Marcy, so she brings them to her editor. I have a question. If these 2 are really supposed to be aliens, why do they look exactly like humans? And speak English, for that matter.
The government implants a chip.
You gotta be kidding me.
They've had their memories erased.
That still doesn't explain why they look like humans. Anyways, the editor tells the 2 maybe aliens to leave, and is also upset that Marcy keeps wasting his time with crackpot cuckoo theories.
Now do the shuttle story like you're supposed to.
It's so boring.
And I want to know about every boring detail.
So she heads off, not to watch the boring shuttle, but instead to check out the government facility to see if anything nefarious is going on there. Coming along with her are Marcy's 2 colleagues, Jake, played by Nick Schwartz,
May the Schwartz be with you.
and Slick, played by Oliver McReady. We then cut back to the space shuttle, in space, as a couple astronauts are working on it.
This is the 3rd time this year we fixed it. Where was this arm built?
Canada.
That figures.
Yeah, those dang Canadians and their faulty craftsmanship. This super secret government experiment is being overseen by NASA and super secret government agents. One such agent is John Murphy, played by Josh Green.
How much longer, Solaris? We've got more important fish to fry.
Like what? You got a mission to Pluto later today or something? They then begin the experiment.
Houston, I'm injecting now. Oh my god! Oh my god, where'd it go? Oh my god!
Then everything goes wrong quicker than you can say Oopa Doopa Koopa Tapas. I don't know why you would say that, but it happened faster. We learned from NASA that the ship was hit with a solar flare, which caused everything to go wrong, and now the spider is loose on the shuttle. Okay, I'm obviously not an astronaut, but shouldn't there be things in place that would monitor that so that this exact situation wouldn't happen? No? Okay. With the spider on the loose, it makes quick work of the crew and bites every single one of them. Man, these people suck at their jobs. I mean, you would think a team specifically assigned to experiment on a spider would know how to handle a spider better. Also, how the heck did it reach the pilots? Earlier, they said they locked down the lower decks, which is where the spider was, and then later it just pops up in the cockpit. What, did the experiment involve giving the spider teleporting powers? How did it get there? Also, man, that's some fast-acting venom, because he was just bitten, and he ain't looking so good. We are then introduced to another super-secret government agent named Agent Gray, played by Mark Phelan. After being filled in on the situation, he has the shuttle set to automatic and on a course to one of their bases. The astronauts beg them to take him to one of the medical facilities, but Gray has other ideas.
We're taking them to the cleaners.
The movie then cuts back to Marcy and the others as they set up a stakeout. After a few minutes, Slick gets tired of waiting and says they should just sneak in, so they do. They approach a perimeter fence, which Marcy believes is electrified, but Slick doesn't believe her, so to prove her wrong, he walks up to touch it, and...
No, what are you doing? No! Slick! Slick!
Dude, you okay? If you look up the word gullible in the dictionary, there's a picture of you two boneheads.
Before they can get too mad at him for his prank, Marcy gets a call from her editor.
How many times have I told you to report to the office when there's breaking news?
Breaking news.
You're just minutes.
You don't know, do you?
I repeat.
The shuttle burned up on re-entry, Marcy!
With her boss realizing she's not where she's supposed to be, he gives the story to someone else and hangs up. But just that moment, the shuttle flies over them and crashes into the ground. And while it is a little obvious that the ship is just a model, I commend them for using practical effects instead of just relying on CGI for everything. With the shuttle crashing in front of them, even though the news said it burned up on re-entry, Marcy puts together that some kind of government conspiracy is going on here, so she heads in to investigate.
I don't understand. I thought you said that it burned up.
That's what they want us to think. Come on. There might be survivors.
And what if there are? What are you gonna do? Give them CPR? Inside, they find some of the crew dead, and... You know, I'm not entirely sure if I can show this on YouTube, because it's pretty gruesome. I'll just show a censored version, it should be fine. And if you want a better idea of what's going on, let's just say their insides have become their outsides. We also see that the spider has survived the crash. The group is then jump-scared by one of the astronauts who is still alive, although he has definitely seen better days. The super-secret government agents then show up to recover the shuttle. Seeing them arrive, our main characters do their best to hide. The spider then crawls up the astronaut and into his suit and lays an egg in his body. Agent Gray and Murphy head inside the ship, and when no one is watching, the three journalists sneak out of the ship and then crawl into one of the trucks nearby, because they're idiots. Seriously, why would you do that? Why wouldn't you just continue to sneak away? Back inside the shuttle, the spider tries to scurry away, but before it can, Murphy accidentally steps on it, killing the arachnid.
What have you done? You destroyed it!
Bag it.
And so he does, and, well, touching it with his bare hand. Ugh, nasty. Oh, and as it turns out, the truck that the three snuck into is where the dead bodies from the crash go. So now they look like even bigger idiots are crawling in there. The agents then find the surviving astronaut, and Gray begins to question him.
What happened to mother-in-law? Can you hear me? Talk to me!
Oh, by the way, mother-in-law is the code name for the spider. Which confuses me why he's asking what happened to it. You know what happened to it. Got stepped on, now it's in a bag in your pocket. I guess maybe he wants to know what happened before the shuttle crash, but even then he still knows. Ship got hit with a solar flare, spider got loose and killed everybody. What more do you want to know? When a doctor examines the astronaut, he says that the guy needs medical attention immediately. Agent Gray says that he's going to be taken to the lab instead, but the doctor refuses.
This man, he's going to the hospital.
Oh my god.
You think maybe he's supposed to be the bad guy? Gray is then approached by Murphy, who is not too enthusiastic about his methods.
Get used to it. Goes with the territory.
The team heads out, but not before throwing an explosive inside the shuttle, causing it to explode, destroying all the evidence. Well, some of it anyways. Still got plenty of shuttle there that wasn't completely blown apart, but whatever. They then drive back to base, unknowingly bringing our main characters along with them. They then go down an elevator, and some soldiers start pulling the dead bodies out of the truck, while also somehow not spotting the three journalists in there. When the soldiers leave, the three climb out of the truck, but before they can get out, someone else is coming down the elevator, and so they hide. They see that it is the doctors with the survivor from the shuttle.
I gotta help him.
No.
Oh, but can't just leave him. Come on.
Why, though? Why do you feel like it's your responsibility? I mean, your chances of getting out of here are already questionable. If you bring him along, it'll just decrease them even more. The guy can barely stand, let alone walk. Also, he probably has a better chance of survival here than he does in a random hospital, as this place actually knows what's going on with him. Well, mostly. But they carry on with the idiotic plan anyways, sneakily following the doctors. However, on the way there, they stumble upon a room with some very bizarre specimens, including but not limited to an alien baby! Huh. Well, that's not something you see every day. They gather photographic evidence of their strange findings and leave. They discover the room the astronaut is in, and when the doctors leave, they go in.
Slick, camera. A little closer.
Jump scare in 3, 2, 1. The astronaut tries to warn them about the spider, but none of them really have any idea what he's talking about. And I feel like I should give a warning here, because the scene we're about to watch is pretty gross. So if you happen to be eating anything right now, you might want to pause the video and finish it later. Alrighty, so the astronaut's body starts to convulse. He barfs all over Marcy, and then a giant spider crawls out of his mouth. I warned you. Hearing the commotion, the two doctors return, and yeah, they probably weren't thinking they were going to see this when they woke up this morning. The spider immediately starts spinning web all over the lady doctor, and it then jumps and bites the guy doctor. He throws it away, and then it jumps up on the wall, and... Okay, after seeing the CGI in this film, I'm especially glad they didn't use it for the shuttle crash, because that would have looked ridiculous. So yeah, the CGI spider is pretty laughable, but the practical spider doesn't look half bad. And after seeing what will most likely haunt their dreams for the rest of their lives, everyone gets the heck out of there. The spider then chases down the lady doctor and kills her. Meanwhile, Marcy and the others head back to the specimens room, thinking they are safe, only for the spider to start banging against the door. Which doesn't make a whole lot of sense, because it was just born, so it's probably pretty hungry, and it just killed somebody, so you think it would have spent more time digesting that meal. But it is a horror movie monster, so it's gotta get to killing. They grab a nearby barrel of toxic waste, which there seems to be a lot of those around this facility, and use it to block the door. They then find an exit and get out of there. But now they have no idea how to get back to the elevator, which is the only way out. Also, that one doctor from earlier is still alive. Well, barely, and he triggers the alarm. This lets everyone in the facility know that something has gone wrong, so the super secret government agents head down to investigate. While trying to find a way out, our main characters find the cryogenics lab, which is filled with even more government secrets.
That's an astronaut's uniform. There's never an Apollo 18.
There are also 2 other capsules, which I believe are supposed to contain the bodies of Jim Morrison and John F. Kennedy. I don't really know why either of them would be there. I mean, what do they have to do with aliens or spider experiments? Am I missing something? I'm probably missing something. They leave that room and headed to another that has a bunch of sacks hanging from the ceiling. Why?
It's all part of some government experiment.
Not another one of your conspiracy theories, Marcy. How are you still questioning if this is a government conspiracy or not? Did you just forget what you saw like 5 minutes ago? A moment later, they accidentally discover the corpse of the lady doctor from earlier, which scares Marcy so bad her glasses reappear, and then disappear immediately afterwards. Continuity! They then find some stairs, which isn't as good as an elevator, but hey, it's better than nothing, so they start heading up, only to find they are covered in giant webs, and you know what that means, so the giant spider leaps out of the shadows and attacks Jake, causing him to fall over the railings, but the others catch him. The spider then bites his leg, but Slick punches it off of him, causing it to fall to its death. With 40 minutes of the movie left. Yeah, some Desmond ain't quite dead yet. See? The group takes a moment to rest, and they see a door with some initials on it, and they try to guess what it means.
Military. Industrial liaison.
Men in leather? Martians in lace?
Mother-in-law.
They go in and see that this is the place where the spider experiment was created. Marcy then finds a picture which shows that the two she was talking to at the beginning of the movie actually were aliens. Still doesn't explain why they look like humans, but whatever. Jake then hacks into the computer and they learn more about the experiment.
Alright, they've been experimenting on funnel web spiders. They lay their eggs in living flesh and reproduce asexually.
No, they don't. Funnel-web spiders do not lay their eggs in a hose. They put them in an egg sac. You know, like every other spider ever. They also don't reproduce asexually. They didn't male to fertilize the eggs. Look, I know expecting scientific accuracy out of a low-budget B-monster movie about an alien spider hybrid is basically asking for the impossible, but they could have at least got the basic facts right.
Get this, they injected that spider with alien DNA.
I knew it was something like that.
Okay, here we go. Had to do it in 0G because it's closer to the atmosphere where the alien came from.
Wait. That's why they did it in space? I figured it was some kind of legal loophole, like no one has any jurisdiction in space, so it's technically not against the law to experiment with the alien DNA. Or maybe if something went wrong, it's contained in space, it wouldn't affect Earth. Although I guess that would be contradicted by the fact that as soon as something went wrong, they immediately came back down to Earth. I don't know. I still think it makes more sense than what they came up with. Also, why was their first idea to combine the alien DNA with a spider of all things? Why not try it with something small and harmless, just to see what it'll do, and then maybe try it with a spider? But if people thought reasonably in this film, we wouldn't have a movie, so carry on, I guess. They then learned something else.
I'm gonna die.
We don't even know if there's any venom in there.
That is true. Sometimes spiders will just bite as a warning and won't actually inject any venom. Although, going off of how his wound is pulsing right now, yeah, he did. So he decides if he's gonna die, he's taking that spider with him, which doesn't really go as planned. Yeesh, looks like the Schwartz wasn't with him after all. After grieving the loss of their friend, the two finally find the elevator, so now they can get out of this horrible place. But that would be too easy, so instead they need a key card in order to access the elevator, to which they both say screw it and just climb up the rest of the way themselves. They find a door and open it, only to be greeted by the spider, who is now fully grown. The terrifying sight causes them to fall backwards, plummeting down the elevator shaft, only to be caught by this conveniently placed web. How and when did it do that? The doors to that area are always closed, and even if the spider did find one of them open, why would it build a web in there and then just leave? Well, if it didn't do that, our main characters would be dead, so whatever, I guess. The giant spider makes its way down to them, so they have to get free. Marcy is able to break away, but Slick is still stuck. When the spider jumps down, Slick yells at Marcy to get away, and so she does. The spider then kills Slick. Also, I have to say the spider animatronic here looks really cool. While the puppets used for the smaller spiders were pretty good, the one used for the adult looks freaking awesome. That being said, the CGI is still pretty bad. I mean, it's not even the right color half the time. Anyways, as the spider tries to go 3 for 3, the door closes on it, preventing the kill and saving Marcy. She then goes to cry in a corner, which, considering everything she's seen and been through, I don't blame her one bit. Marcy is understandably pretty demoralized, but then she hears the voices of her dead friends, who tell her to keep going, which motivates her to carry on. Alright, sure, why not? We then cut back to the super-secret government agents. Oh yeah, they've been investigating the facility the entire time. I just didn't bother to show any of it because, well, it wasn't really all that important. We see John Murphy, who is probably thinking, who the heck is setting up Halloween decorations down here? He comes across Marcy, but she runs away, and when he catches up to her, the two have a bit of a struggle, and she winds up getting his gun. She shoots at him a few times, but misses every shot, despite the fact she's only a few feet away from him, and then she runs away. Next we see... Oh hey, it's Shoot-Face McSugarHappy. I wonder what he's gonna do. Shoot somebody, what a surprise. Seriously, with how often they both shoot their own colleagues, I think Agent Gray and Samuelson from Asylum's War of the Worlds would get along. Or they would just shoot each other. And probably that one. Back with Marcy and Murphy, he winds up getting his gun back from her and tells her that he won't hurt her and that he can help, but she still resists, causing them to both fall off the platform and into the water below. And even in the water, she continues to fight him. Okay, Marcy, I know you're all about conspiracies and not trusting the government and all that, but you just shot at this guy a few minutes ago, and he's still willing to help you. That should be a sign that he's not so bad. Also, y'all might want to get out of that water. It's starting to look like the vat of chemicals the Joker fell in. Murphy then gets grabbed by the spider, but Marcy grabs a pipe and shoves it into one of the spider's eyes.
Sammy, let us go!
Oh, now you realize he's not the bad guy. Took you long enough. Anyways, this is enough to stun the spider so Murphy can get away. And while running around, the two run into Agent Gray. Alright, $5 says he shoots one of them. It turns out he actually knows Marcy. How, you may ask?
She's a reporter for a small-time college newspaper. They actually print her paranoid ravings occasionally. She's been right often enough for me to keep tabs on her.
Sure, why not? I mean, let's be honest, it is one of the less unbelievable parts of this movie. He then says that Marcy must be killed. See, I told you he was going to shoot one of them, but Murphy objects.
You can't kill me. Why not? Because I haven't taught you how.
Well, I guess he'll just have to figure it out on his own. Starting with shooting you in the head. Or not. Dang it, Marcy, why'd you have to waste all the ammo? Wait, why were there only 3 bullets in that gun? Seriously, those 3 shots earlier were the only time Murphy's gun was ever fired in the entire film. So that means he was only carrying 3 bullets. Why? Yeah, whatever. Gray then points his gun at Murphy. But before he can pull the trigger, he is caught up in a horribly rendered spider web. With Gray captured, our 2 characters take the opportunity to get the heck out of there. The spider approaches the webbed agent, but instead of killing him, it impregnates him with a spider egg. As they're running away, Murphy reloads his gun. Oh boy, 3 more bullets! The 2 then come across the area where the spider has been stashing its victims. No, hey, it's the poster of this movie. Well, one of them anyways. Marcy then walks up to one of the cocooned bodies.
Slick?
How can you tell? Murphy then starts searching the bodies for something.
Our ticket out of here. We need the access code.
And with the card in their possession, they book it over to the elevator, with the spider right on their heels, but they're able to get in and close the door in time. So they ride the elevator to safety. Well, clearly standing in front of a green screen. But they aren't out of the fire yet, as the spider has made its way into the elevator shaft, and bursts through the bottom of the cab. Murphy tries to shoot it, but the colossal arachnid knocks the gun out of his hand. Oh well, not sure what difference 3 bullets would have made anyways, and it seems they are out of options. Until Murphy comes up with a simple solution of just putting the elevator in reverse.
Going down!
When the cab reaches the bottom, it squashes the spider, killing it once and for all. The 2 finally escape the facility, and Marcy goes to her work to tell the world what she's seen. Well, didn't this wrap up nicely? Wait a minute. Why is there still 20 minutes of the movie left? The monster was killed, and they finally made it outside. What is there left to do?
And have I got a story for you?
Oh, right. Agent Gray. He was impregnated with a spider egg. I forgot about that. Wait a minute. How the heck did he get there? How did he break free of the web, get outside, and then make it all the way to the newsroom before Marcy and Murphy did?
How did you get out of that thing?
Shut up, turncoat.
See, even the characters in this movie are confused how he managed to do this. Also, he shot Marcy's boss, and he doesn't have a silencer on that gun, which means that everyone in the building heard a gunshot coming from their boss's office and was just like, meh, Tuesday as usual. Gray then starts ranting and raving about how the alien spider hybrids would make the perfect weapon.
Think of dropping a case of these spiders behind enemy lines, each one laying an egg in its enemy host, each generation growing larger than the next. Well, we could have led an army unlike any other. An army of living, breathing, killing machines.
Neat plan, just has one little issue. Same issue that all these plans have that involve using living creatures as weapons. Have a reliable way to control the monster? No. Well, then it would just kill everybody, you moron! These things don't care about allegiances or whose side you're on. The spider egg then starts to hatch inside him. Do I even need to point out how bad the effect looks in this shot? The spider then completely bursts out of him, and everyone runs outside. But as soon as they leave the building, crap, that thing grew fast! So everyone panics and runs away from the titanic arachnid. And the effects used to portray the giant spider are about the same as before. CGI is iffy at best, but the practical elements look pretty good. And while the spider design in this movie overall is pretty cool, there is one part of it that kind of gets on my nerves. And that is the leg, specifically the foot. It's a round nub with some spikes on the inside of it. That's nothing what an actual spider leg looks like. They look like this. See, they have these two little claws at the end of it, which can hook onto things. That is what allows them to climb on stuff. So with the way the legs are designed on this monstrosity, it would never be able to climb on anything. Alright, spider leg rant over. The giant spider causes chaos all around it as it continues on its rampage. And... okay, I know I just got done with the whole rant about the spider, but there's one more thing I'm gonna say. Okay, one more thing and I promise I'll shut up. Why does the spider keep picking people up with its fangs? Why doesn't it just use its pedipalps? You know, those two small extra legs that are right next to the fangs, and one of their main uses is picking up food and bringing it to the mouth? Look, I know these are minor nitpicks, but as someone who has a bit of an idea how spiders actually work, it's kind of annoying, but also sort of funny, seeing this movie continue to screw it up. Anyways, while running away, Marcy spots Agent Gray's helicopter. Oh, so that's how he got there before them. Although, I feel like that would have drawn more attention earlier. I mean, helicopters are really loud, and that's smack dab in the middle of the campus. But yet when Marcy and Murphy first got to the school, everyone was just acting like it was a normal day. So, first they don't notice when a government chopper lands in the middle of the school, and then no one hears when a gunshot goes off? Does anybody in this college notice anything? I'm surprised they even reacted to the spider right now. Whatever. So, how do our main characters plan on stopping the spider now that it's as tall as a 2-story house? Well, by using this handy-dandy rocket launcher that the chopper just happened to be equipped with, of course. So Murphy takes aim and fires at the spider.
Missed.
He missed? How do you miss? That thing is ginormous! With the spider now out of sight, they hop in the helicopter and chase after it. And as the spider moves forward, there are some pretty cool scenes of it tearing through the city, as well as some funny bits, like this homeless lady throwing some trash at the spider after it knocked over her cart. I always enjoy a good old-fashioned scene of a giant monster destroying a city, and this is no different. The police try and fail to stop the creature, and it then proceeds to climb up a building. The chopper finally catches up with the spider, and since Murphy is busy piloting, Marcy decides that she, the untrained civilian, will take the shot. Sure, why not? So she fires at the genetic monstrosity.
Skin's too tough to pierce.
I'm sorry, what? For those of you who don't understand how ridiculous this is, earlier Murphy said the rockets they're using are tipped with depleted uranium, which is super dense and very effective. Sometimes too effective, as if I remember correctly, there are some cases of these rockets going straight through a tank, as in going in one end and then out the other before it even has a chance to explode. That's how much piercing power these things have. So the fact that the spider is able to resist it means that alien DNA made this thing one heck of a beast. Alright, well, the rocket didn't work. Now what? Well, just try the rocket again, but this time aim it down the monster's throat. So Marcy reloads the bazooka and... hey, do these rockets kind of look like Nerf ammo to anyone else? Murphy then brings the helicopter closer to the spider, but it hits the chopper, causing Marcy to fall out. Whew, thank goodness she already tied herself off to the chopper earlier, otherwise she'd be dead. But she's not gonna let something like dangling out of a helicopter slow her down, so she takes aim and fires the missile down the spider's gullet. So the monster is defeated, the city is saved, Marcy is covered in spider guts, and the movie ends. So that was Spiders from 2000. And it's pretty stupid. But in a good way. It's less the kind of stupid that's frustrating and makes you want to pull your hair out, and more so the kind that's entertaining and how over the top and just downright ridiculous it is. It's a cheesy monster movie that knows it's a cheesy monster movie, and definitely leans into it at times. Like the main human villain, he's so entertaining in how unapologetically evil he is. Having a villain with a fully fleshed out backstory and motives is nice, but sometimes a villain who's evil just for the sake of being evil, if done right, can be a lot of fun. Honestly, the worst part of this film is probably the CGI, because, yeah, it's pretty bad, but the practical elements are all pretty good, especially the one used for the mid-sized spider. That looks freaking sick, and in my opinion is the best effect in the entire movie. So overall, it's dumb fun. I mean, it's a movie about a giant alien spider hybrid made by the government. That alone should tell you if this is your kind of movie or not. And while the film wasn't a smash hit or anything, it was successful enough to get a couple of sequels, which I will definitely be taking a look at. Eventually. There are a few other things I want to get to before that. So, not super soon, but still near future. I'll get to them before the end of the year. But until then, see you later. Sayonara. Bye. Also, Agent Grey didn't shoot anybody else, so here.